TCL is a proud sponsor of the Score North Studios. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL. These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Poked away, Kaprizov in for a chance to win it. He scores! Kirill the Thrill is for real. Welcome to the NHL, a game winner for Kaprizov, and the Wild win it 4-3 in LA.
Wow. They're gonna have to change the lyrics to this song after what we saw last night.
Just entirely new song. Just redo a song. A Kirill Kaprizov. So he's what? It's dollar bill Kirill. Is that what we found out in the post game?
That's what the players are calling him.
Okay. How many nicknames does he have already? So it was Kirill the Thrill.
So far,
and is it so? It's dollar bill Kirill.
Dollar bill Kirill, which I sort of like actually.
I like that too.
Okay. I bet you guys didn't think we'd be talking about two Terminators on today's show, did you? We actually have exclusive audio from Kaprizov in the postgame.
I'm a friend of Sarah Connor. I was told that she's here. Could I see her, please?
No, can't see her. She's making a statement.
Where is she?
Look, it may take a while. You want to wait? There's a bench over there.
I'll be back.
That's what he said after his second to last shift.
That's right.
Yeah. Then he came back.
Two great debuts, two boys. Two great debuts. Arnold, Kirill. Think about it. It fits in perfect. Both in California.
You know,
like think about the symmetry here.
Arnold, and maybe we can get into Arnold's filmography on the Action Movie Rewind. So Arnold was in like a movie called Hercules Lost in New York or something in the mid-70s, just like a super weird, very low budget film, and that was his actual debut. But yeah, this was his.
That was his KHL, just like Kirill.
Didn't
this
Conan
was his big league debut
before? I don't know. We can go through it.
I'm just trying to torture it, okay? I'm just trying to make it work, all right?
I do have an honest question for you guys, okay? Just be 100% honest with me. And I will preface this by saying Kaprizov was amazing last night. I think his passing, like some of those passes he made.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously him creating the game-winning breakaway chance. Honest question. Did he intend to score that game-winning goal off of his skate? Was it like a next level, you think I'm going to drag the puck over here, but I'm actually going to kick it off my skate? Or did he get a little sloppy and a little bit lucky on that game-winning goal?
He did not mean to score it off his skate, but he did not get sloppy. I will explain. The ice in Staples Center was so bad last night that the puck slid off his stick. He made this move basically in the scrimmage last Friday that I attended. Same thing. Breakaway, he goes in, and he's really shifty. So his goal is to sort of stop and wait the goalie out if the goalie slides towards one side and then tuck it in past the pad on the side that's sliding away from said net, right? But the ice stunk. And so he was trying to get probably a little bit too cute, and he lost control of the puck. But he's so good that he accidentally still scored that goal. And that is the thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am irrationally excited about this kid. It's one game. People, you can take your sample sizes and shove them wherever you want. I don't care about sample sizes this morning. What we saw last night, to me, is the beginning of a superstar player. And I will say it in the exact same vein that we saw the Vikings unleash Jefferson for finally in game 3 against the Titans, right? And I think we all came back into studio after that game and said, okay, there's a lot here. Like, this is not a nice game. I have the same irrational excitement about what we saw last night, guys, from Kaprizov.
I'll use a baseball comparison here for a second. There's a difference because you see players for the first time, and there's all kinds of players that make splashes the first time around. And actually, you're bringing a list of at some point here during this segment some of the big Minnesota sports debuts of young players, but there's all kinds of guys, whether they are highly touted or whether they are just sort of guys who randomly burst on the scene, like a Randy Dobnak, who make splashy debuts. Randy Dobnak came in, I think he pitched a bunch of scoreless innings at first. But if you really, if you look at it, he wasn't throwing that hard, and he didn't have like a wipeout breaking ball, and you could sort of watch it and say, awesome, like he's definitely going to be a piece, but he wasn't throwing 97 miles an hour and didn't have a Kerrywood curveball, so like let's temper our expectations. And then sometimes guys like Jose Barrios come in, and I think he was bad in his debut, but you're like, whoa, okay. He throws 4 different pitches. He has a changeup that's like 10 miles an hour, less than a fastball. That's superstar stuff. And there's been wild players who have come in and like they're pretty good right away. And they might, even like Granlund. Oh, he's a pretty good player right away. When I was watching Kaprizov last night, and these are my amateur hockey eyes, and I want your thoughts. I saw a young player who was quicker, faster, better hands, and was impacting the game more than pretty much everyone on the ice, both teams. And so, like, you can look and say, oh, he scored a goal and had a couple assists in his first game, and like other players do that too. But to me, it was the way that he impacted the game with his physical skill set that I think is going to transfer going forward. Those are just my amateur eyes, but he looked different than the other players to me.
It definitely didn't take a educated hockey eye to realize this kid's special. It's unbelievable.
You just rip Bill.
No, I rip myself.
Yeah, it's a rip on. It's not a rip. It's a compliment to how damn good he is. I told Judd yesterday after the game that if the Wild are gonna make the playoffs, it's gonna be Kaprizov and Fiala physically dragging them along. Like Fiala had a very good and noticeable game in a good way too yesterday. But Kaprizov, you saw it immediately, even just on the TV. Sometimes it can be hard to tell when you're not seeing a guy go up and down the ice and we don't have your actual eyes on him in the arena. But even on watching on television, you could tell that, holy crap, this is everything we have been looking for, and he's been worth the hype and worth the wait.
Yeah, the cliche is it factor, right? We talk about that. This guy's got that it factor. He's got that. But let me tell you what impressed me about him, to Phil's point, which has nothing to do with scoring the goal and has to do with his play, and especially the 2 goals that he helped set up. And it's this. A lot of teams try to play at pace now. It's a fast game. It's a skilled game. Kirill Kaprizov last night at least controlled the pace. And there's a difference there. Well, like he's not trying to play with the rest of the guys, including the opposing team, which obviously the Wilds try to dictate the pace of play. He is essentially, when he's out there, and especially in control of the puck, he's controlling said pace. That's impressive. And that is a thing that a lot of guys don't come close to possessing that skill. I mean, what, Dix? McDavid probably does. Yep. McKinnon in Colorado probably does. But we're talking about a handful of guys who can actually, during the course of a shift, control the flow and the pace of the game. Mm-hmm. And Phil, the thing too that was impressive to me for game 1 was, did you see him ever look panicked or lost? Like every time he had the puck, including being pressured, there was never a time where I thought, that's not good. I always thought he's in complete control of what he's doing, which for a player in his first game, to me, is super impressive.
Yeah. I will make note that they were the furious rallies a little bit last night.
Oh, yeah.
They were the furious rallies a little bit. When you have a player like Kaprizov, be the furious rallies and actually push it over the top and still win a game. So where does that performance for you, Judd, rank among great, splashy, young Minnesota player debuts?
Up late last night, going through a list, because on the postgame show that I did with Dex, he asked me this question, and then we also started to get tweets about this, okay? So
cheap plug, by the way, yeah, you guys did. If people want like the full, immediate deep dive, Mackey and Judd podcast feed, Judd's hockey show went live last night. And you can also find that on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ScoreNorthMN, one of our 2 YouTube channels, Purple Daily, the other one. So go ahead.
There was some serious Kool-Aid ingested too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
but also
okay.
Kool-Aid.
We're starved for something around here, for God's sake.
So I take you back to September 1986. I believe this was at the Metrodome. Freshman tailback Daryl Thompson rushes for 178 of his 205 yards in his first game in the second half, and scores 4 touchdowns in a Gophers rout of Bowling Green.
Wow.
205 yards, first game in college as a freshman.
Wow.
That's pretty damn impressive.
Not bad.
I take you back to May 8th, 1984 in Anaheim, California. A guy who took a cab that cost him like $500 from LAX to go to play the Angels. Kirby Puckett, 4 for 5, a run scored in his debut. Now, 4 for 5 is impressive. I think that they were all singles, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not positive on that. But the point is, it then launched a career that clearly was a fantastic career. 4 for 5, though. Let's go back to football. Impact first game. The Vikings 1998 opener, Phil and Declan, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A 31-7 win. Randy Moss, 4 catches. Okay, 4 catches. That's fine, right? 95 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Didn't he catch a touchdown on his first catch? Wasn't his first NFL catch a bomb, I believe, from Brad Johnson?
It was not. His first catch was the third play of the game, 11-yard pass, but he did definitely catch a bomb. He definitely caught a bomb.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. But that to me is a similar, probably a parallel impact, just as far as I was at that game and I remember the wow moment of, oh my God, this guy's different. See, Kaprizov looked different to me. That's the most important thing here. This was not like, oh, nice game. This was holy cow, dude. You are better than, as Phil said, I think, most of the guys, if not every guy on this ice, and they've been doing this in this league for the most part longer than you have.
Declan, we were kicking around a couple other names just before the show started too, and Ricky Rubio's name came up. So Rubio was splashy, and that his debut was highly anticipated, and he also just looked different on the court. And I think he came off the bench in that debut game on December 26th, 2010 or 11, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he scored 6 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. But if I remember right, so like not a super flashy box score, played like 25 minutes, but the 6 assists were like, oh, behind the back, between the legs, and alley-oops to whoever, Derek Williams or whoever the hell was catching alley-oops from Ricky Rubio. So I wouldn't put that in the Moss or the Kaprizov category, but I would put it in the conversation.
And I've got one more here that was a Minnesota sports debut, although not his debut in the National Football League. But we were excited. October of 89, and the Minnesota Vikings had just gotten Herschel Walker from the Dallas Cowboys. And this was going to be the defining thing that put the Vikings in a Super Bowl and won that first championship. And in his first game against the Packers at the Metrodome, Herschel Walker, 18 carries, 148 yards. And then he did not have another 100-yard game for the Vikings until week 2 of 91.
Wow.
So hopefully this is not the same, but that debut, that trade was huge, and it's Herschel Walker, and oh my God, they got Herschel. And then that debut was that was probably as excited as we've been in this town after a debut. But I would draw the parallel here, I think, with this kid's skills to Moss, because it's that wow, one of our teams has a guy that ordinarily, like, the opponent has.
And you know what? The good news is when Minnesota sports teams have generational superstars, they always take advantage and cash in with championships. So really, really excited.
Why'd you have to do that? Why'd you have to go there?
Poked away, Kaprizov in for a chance to win it. He scores! Kirill the Thrill is for real. Welcome to the NHL, a game winner for Kaprizov, and the Wild win it 4-3 in LA.
I'm a friend of Sierra Kana. I was told that she's here. Could I see her, please?
No, can't see her. She's making a statement.
Where is she?
Look, it may take a while. You want to wait? There's a bench over there.
I'll be back.